Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead. Goose hunting and waterfowling in general has a rich heritage here in Oklahoma. Much of it has to do with our ideal location in the Central Flyway. Another reason the Sooner State is a goose magnet is because our abundance of agriculture, primarily winter wheat. It's hard to imagine that just less than 100 years ago, much of the same landscape that was prime goose hunting land today was little more than a Dust Bowl desert. What few geese there were definitely considered Oklahoma a flyover state. But that was then, and this is now. And for cousins Jared and Ryan Altman, goose hunting each winter is practically a way of life.
Started hunting with my father when I was a young kid and did a lot of upland bird hunting, pheasant, quail. Did that for a long time. Started getting into waterfowl hunting just 7 or 8 years ago with my cousin.
So me and Ryan have been hunting together for a long time when you go back to the pheasant fields in Kansas with me going with his family. But as far as waterfowl goes, about 7, 8 years now, and I invited him along for a duck hunt, and it's been history ever since. We've been about every hunt I go on, he's with me.
Now that we're waterfowl hunting together, it's usually a lot of times just us.
I started out quail hunting when I was probably 5 or 6 years old with my grandfather. He was big time bird dog trainer, loved every bit of quail hunting, and that was back in the late 80s, back in the prime time of Oklahoma quail season. The quail hunting is what ignited my passion for the outdoors. It opened up my eyes to the world of hunting, period. Quail hunting, pheasant hunting, turkey, deer, you name it, I love it. I love every part of hunting.
Yeah, one of my biggest mentors for hunting was my dad and my grandfather. I learned a lot from both of them. I didn't get to hunt with my grandfather as much as I would have liked to have, but I still learned a lot from him.
Get ready.
Take them.
I'm gonna go grab these before more come in, right? I hope that's not all of it. The perfect hunt is, in my opinion, it would be wind at your back and sun at your back and birds decoying into your spread. That's the ideal waterfowl hunt. It doesn't matter if it's ducks or geese. As long as they are working in your spread and you get to shoot them over your decoys, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, Jared put a lot of initiative into locking down the land, and he's got a lot of drive and loves to do it, so he can usually count on, if it's time to hunt, he's ready to go. Ideal goose hunt, of course we'd have it scouted out beforehand. We'd like to know that that's where the birds want to be beforehand, because that's the most important part of any of it, is scouting. Then we'd usually set out all our decoys, make sure everything's perfect, and we'd love to get small groups coming in on a regular basis.
Take them. You can overcall really easy on birds, and then you can also not call enough. There's a fine line in between, and I'm still learning it. You call it the wrong time, call the wrong note, you're gonna flare the birds. You don't want to flare the birds. They're not gonna come back and give you a second chance.
For this hunt, we used a portable A-frame blind. We like it because it rolls up really tight and we can carry it into places that we're usually walking into. We can't drive into a lot of these farmers' fields. So a portable blind frame like that does a good job of concealing the hunters, providing vegetation where there is no vegetation to hide in. And it's just portable. It's easy to get in and out. You can tear it up, put it up within 10-15 minutes, and you're ready to hunt.
main error I see on a lot of guys that don't have success is their decoys are spread too far apart. They don't have enough decoys, so they try to make the spread look bigger by spreading them apart. And when you're out scouting, pay attention to the birds in the field that you will be hunting. Set your decoy spread up and try to mimic that as much as possible. You're not going to see them spread out 10, 20 feet apart from each other. They're going to be 2 to 3 feet distance away from each other feeding. Circling. Take them.
The best part of goose hunting is getting out with, of course, family and friends that I don't get to see on a regular basis, and I get to spend time outdoors with them. I love watching the birds work, especially on a good day when they're decoying straight into our decoys just like they're supposed to, and it's a beautiful sight.
Best part of goose hunting is when you do everything right enough for the flock of geese to come in, wings cupped, feet down, and land and stand there and look around. That means you fooled them. They did it right. That's the best part in my book. No bands. Worst part of goose hunting would have to be packing out all the gear that you hauled in, plus all the geese you shot during the hunt. That's got to be the worst part about it. Just about. Yep. Goose hunting is definitely a group effort. With all the gear you got to haul out, set up.
Although I had never met Jared and Ryan before that day, I've known the Altman name my whole life. Their grandfather, Bill Altman, and my dad were colleagues and officed right next to each other in Ag Hall at Oklahoma State University for the majority of their careers. And not only were they co-workers and Saturday morning coffee drinking buddies after retirement, but they hunted quail and pheasant a lot together over the years. So when Jared reached out to me, it was a no-brainer. 2 and 3 generations later, Craigheads and Altmans are once again pursuing shared passions in the outdoors. And even though our beloved mentors are both gone now, I have no doubt that their Grandpa Bill and my dad Max were there in spirit, just living in the moment with us and sharing a laugh or two. Thanks for a great time, fellas. I'm sure it won't be our last. And if you've never experienced a quality goose hunt yourself, well, you're definitely missing out on a good time. If your friends don't invite you, just invite yourself. Thanks for joining us today. For all of us at your wildlife department, I'm Todd Craighead, and we'll see you right back here next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.